Gregory Slayton's with us today, and ambassador, professor, businessman, most importantly, dad. And he has authored a book, Be a Better Dad. It is a national bestseller within the last couple of weeks. The foreword by the late Chuck Colson. He's also had some other great endorsements by Tim Keller, senior pastor of Redeemer Presbyterian Church in New York City, former Governor Jeb Bush, U.S. Senator John McCain, Luis Palau, who is an Oregonian. Ambassador, what a delight to have you with us today.
Oh, thanks. It's a great pleasure to be with you.
And congratulations on the book. It's just kind of tearing things up out there.
Well, I think it really speaks to the importance of fatherhood. You know, it's in many parts of the U.S. today, people kind of downgrade the importance of fatherhood, which frankly doesn't make any sense, and flies right in the face both of common wisdom and also the research, which really tells us that fathers are critical to the success of families, and families are fundamental to the success of our society.
Let's, first of all, before we get into this too much, tell us where the proceeds of this is going, the books. This is very encouraging.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, we're giving 100% of the royalties to Christian fatherhood and family charities. There are 10 charities we've selected. These are some of the best charities around. I'm sure you know Focus on the Family and Family Talk, and of course Prison Fellowship with Chuck Colson founded many years ago. Charities like that, the Fellowship of Fathers Foundation, National Fatherhood Initiative. There's a number of charities that we've selected, and we're just so excited that the book's selling well, so that these charities benefit about $2 per book sold.
Wow, that is wonderful. All right, let me encourage you to check it out at Evangel, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, or even at regalbooks.com, and it's called To Be a Better Dad Today, 10 Tools Every Father Needs. Well, Ambassador, with all the things you've done, why did you take this subject on?
You know, I took it on because I did not have a real father myself. And I guess I became really passionate about fatherhood when I became a Christian, which was my senior year in college. And then over the next few years, probably next 5 or 10 years, really started to understand the importance of family and how families could either be a curse or a tremendous blessing. And I guess I, with God's help, decided, boy, I'd really like to see the blessing side of that and needed to study and really learn about fatherhood. And so I had a chance to study fatherhood on 5 different continents, and that became the 10 tools every father needs.
All right. You're a father of 4.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, what's very interesting is everything suggests that what's happened to our culture is a result of an absent dad. Pretty much.
It's so true. When you look at the statistics, you really see that fatherhood failure is at the root of so many of the worst social problems that we face as a nation. Whether you're talking about teenage suicide, which is a horrible scourge, whether you're talking about drug abuse, severe mental illness, functional illiteracy, failure to graduate from high school, teenage pregnancy, incarceration, which is on the rise amongst teens and young adults, as you probably know. All these are factors of fatherhood failure earlier in the person's youth, and it's so sad.
All right, let's get into these 10 tools because we only have a few moments here together. Highlight some of those for us.
Absolutely. The tools, I think all of us dads understand that tools are so important. We can't build a successful radio network as you guys have. We can't do really anything without the 10 tools that we need, as fathers. And this is very similar for us, and what I've seen across the world, again, the 5 different continents I've studied fatherhood on, I've really seen that these are tools that work in different continents for different types of people, different socioeconomic levels, but they work. The tools are set up in the acronym FATHERHOOD. And the first tool, for example, is the F tool. That stands for Family Fun, Family First. And that is so important because it's just vital that we take time with our families, spend time with them, and really enjoy the time that we're spending together.
You know what I sense there, the key word is fun. I came from a father and mother who had a great sense of humor, and I think that was the key to our family.
Yeah, that's so wonderful. You know, every one of these tools has a chapter dedicated to it in the book. But just as importantly, it has a put it to work section, a 30-day put it to work section. Somebody's calling me like crazy. 30-day put it to work section so that we dads can really get it into our minds how we can take this tool and put it to work in our own life. It's a little bit like having a great socket wrench in your garage, but you never use it. What use is it, right? These tools are tools that I hope that I will, and every dad will, take and use for the benefit of our wives, our kids, and yes, ourselves.
All right. A for all in marriage?
A is all in marriage, exactly. I appreciate that you've read the book. That's great. Yes. The A tool, the second tool in the 10 tools, is for all in marriage, and that's because the research is abundantly clear. One of the greatest gifts that we can give to our children is a committed, stable, secure relationship with our wives. Doesn't mean that difficult things don't happen. Doesn't mean that we don't have struggles. Sure we do. Everyone does. All marriages do. But when we can show to our children the way that a husband and wife relate and work through their difficulties and work through their challenges in a positive way with, as you were saying earlier, laughter and fun, this is hugely important for our children's emotional stability, emotional security, and self-confidence.
Okay, for the sake of time, let me highlight some of these and then have you zero in a couple of them. The T stands for true moral compass and true humility. H, heartfelt love. And then you get into empowering servant leadership. Dig in that one a little bit.
Yes, empowering servant leadership, one of my favorites. It's just really the essence of fatherhood. When you put your wife and your kids ahead of yourself and really try and minister to their needs and help them grow as individuals and as human beings, it's frankly, it is the essence of fatherhood. Obviously, the Bible encourages us to love our wives, and I think by extension our families, as Christ himself loves us, loves the church. That's a high bar for us, but you see through history the greatest leaders have been empowering servant leaders. Jesus himself is a fantastic example. More recently, obviously, in American history, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King, these were all empowering servant leaders who empowered their followers to go on and do great things for their nation and for the world.
How did you balance that with a busy career as an ambassador, a businessman, a professor? I mean, it sounds like you're pretty busy.
Yeah, well, but we're all busy, I would say. We're all busy, especially in this 21st century rush world. The reality is we must make the family a priority. That's why, going back to that first tool, family fun, family first, it's not about quitting our jobs. It's not about, living at home 24/7. But it is when we're at home, we have to be deliberately at home, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Putting down the newspaper, turning off the game, putting away the BlackBerry, and making sure that we're making meaningful, significant memories with our wife and with our children. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be taking the kids on a grand tour of the Bahamas or whatever. It can be just playing Monopoly, going out and riding bicycles together, taking a picnic, playing a soccer game, whatever you do, almost anything you do with your family, as long as it's kind of good-hearted, you're going to have fun.
All right, number 6 is relationship and tools that work. Would you highlight there?
Sure, that's one that a lot of guys, need work on, very much including your humble scribe. A lot of us guys are action-oriented, make it happen, maybe not the greatest listeners. And when you survey wives, generally one of the top 3 concerns of every wife, for the large majority, is that my husband doesn't really listen to me, doesn't really hear me, doesn't really understand me. This is a tool that can benefit us in a big way at home, but can also benefit us outside of the home at the office. If we really understand what our potential client wants or what our business partner is really driving at when he makes a comment, we will be better business people as well. So this is a tool that can really help us on a lot of different ways.
All right, just so our viewers and listeners know, we're talking to Ambassador Gregory Slayton. He's authored a book, Be a Better Dad Today, 10 Tools Every Father Needs. There's a picture of the book on the screen. It's put out by Regal Books, and you can check it out at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Evangel. It's now the top seller for the last 2 weeks, and the proceeds are going to other father organizations 100%. So this is a tremendous outreach and a tremendous tool. He's taken the word fatherhood and turned it into an acronym, and we're kind of going through that here this afternoon. All right, number 7, you got Heaven's Help.
Heaven's Help, probably my favorite chapter of all the tools, and here's the reason why. We dads are looked to every day for wisdom, for strength, for grace, for mercy, for love. And my question to myself and to every dad out there is, where are we getting these things? You can't go to Walmart and pick up a six-pack. You know, the place you can get these in abundance is from our Heavenly Father.
Yeah.
And the good news is that Jesus taught us all we have a Heavenly Father who loves us very, very much. And it's great that we can kneel down and ask for His help and get His help. Strength, power, wisdom, grace, mercy, tenderness, and kindness. That's what the Heaven's Help chapter is all about. And again, it's probably my favorite chapter of all the tools.
All right. Other good dads. Give me a quick one on that one.
Yeah, other good dads, very critical. You know, no Marine fights a fight by himself in the foxhole. We need other guys with us in the foxhole to encourage us, maybe like Chuck Colson was to me, a mentor. A couple of guys our own age to encourage us and you know, help us along the fatherhood journey.
All right, optimistic, never surrender attitude.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's right. You know, if you master all 9 of the other tools, but you're real weak in this one, you're going to have some serious problems because difficulties, challenges, unexpected disasters happen to all of us on the family journey, on the fatherhood journey. And that's when we as dads, as the leaders of our family, we need to have the optimistic, never surrender attitude that we are going to make it through this together as a family. We're going to come out the other end stronger and better than ever.
All right, let's wrap it up with D, dynamic, whole person support.
Indeed. That's, again, one of my favorites because it's something I've learned over the last 20 years. When I first became a dad, I really thought supporting my family was all about bringing home the bacon, which of course it is in part.
Right.
But there are 4 other things that I've really learned are equally important. I need to be providing my family spiritual support, emotional support, physical support, making sure my kids are getting out and getting some exercise, and emotional, physical, intellectual support, basically educational support. For instance, I love, when my kids were younger, I loved reading to them. So did my wife. We read to the kids every night. And now our kids love to read, and that's a beautiful thing.
All right. Well, Ambassador, before we run out of time, just kind of look into that little Skype camera and talk to dads for a moment. You got about 60 seconds.
Hey, perfect. First of all, I want to say, if you're a member of the U.S. military, we salute you, and we'd love to get you this book and other fatherhood resources absolutely free. Please go to the website, www.beabetterdadtoday.com. That's beabetterdadtoday.com. Title of the book. Tons of resources for you there, but also right on the homepage, there's a little button for the home program. Help our military, every dad. That'll get you this book and other fatherhood resources for free. We salute your service to our nation, and we thank you so much. For every single dad out there, we salute you and your efforts to be a better dad today. There's a chapter in the book on single dads. There's a whole section on blended families and other special situations. Wherever you are in life, being a father is the most important thing that any of us guys are ever going to do. Whether your title's president or senator or ambassador or CEO, all those jobs are going to come to an end. Our jobs as fathers never going to come to an end. So thank you very much. Thanks for being a better dad today. I do hope and pray this book is a blessing to you and to your family.
Well, Ambassador, thank you. You are inspiring. God bless you. Thank you for doing this, and keep up the good work. I don't know what you're working on next, but I just can't help but think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, thank you very much. It's a real pleasure to be with you. God bless you and have a wonderful Father's Day.
Okay, same to you.